Hi guys, with you Anil, and today we're going to talk about AOE damage dealer Yuki, about team composition, gear, equipment, and even more. But before going to start, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Chowser Nerds My content. So let's go to the video. Yuki is primarily an AOE damage dealer. Your playstyle revolves around the drawing cards to activate the inspiration effects of your cards, making building decks with a high amount of card draw and high manipulation especially powerful for her. First of all, I want to talk about Yuki's build, and we're gonna start with memory fragments. First setup, which I want to recommend that you gonna have execution tools and Blackwing. On third slot, you're gonna bring Cursed Corpse or Set Scrap. Keep in mind, if you can apply Agony, Cursed Corpse going to be better, but if you can't do it and gonna use only your basic cards, Set Scrap going to be better option. Second setup, which I want to suggest you going to have Bullet of Order and Executioners too. This setup going to be better if you can sustain Agony debuff or gonna rely on your AoE damage cards. For your ideal, best option going to be crit rate, then crit damage, and last one going to be attack. For desired, best option going to be order damage, second one going to be attack. For imagination, best option going to be attack. For substance, you're gonna prioritize crit rate, crit damage, and attack. For potential, I suggest you to maximize almost all of them and skip your common card damage. For your partner slot, first and great option going to be Velma spot, but if you don't have her, you can easily replace her with Lilian. And lastly, we're gonna talk about which equipment prioritize for her, from best to worst option. First of all, we're gonna talk about weapon. Best option in my opinion going to be Chibi. Grants away a 35% bonus damage on all Q cards for one turn as they use a trap card themselves. Second good option going to be W55 Dopamine Injector. Offers a stackable plus 20% damage boost whenever the player drafts a card by an ability. Can pick out at 2 stacks and plus for but it requires you to be able to precisely draft each turn in order to maintain it, something that isn't easy to do. Third great option going to be Mutant Predator Spike. Grants plus 30% damage to all of Yuki's abilities by holding 4 or more cards in hand. So if you can consistently drop cards every turn, it usually becomes the best choice. Number 4 going to be Replica Core. When you can use your own ability to drop one of your attack cards, the attack gains 50% damage bonus for one turn. So it's not a great option, but you can use it. And last one going to be Obsidian Sword. It grants plus 20% damage to all of Yuki's abilities. As for armor, first and best choice going to be Wings of Freedom. Every time the team is hit, it grants Yuki a stack it with 10% damage boost for the rest of the fight, up to 3 stacks. So in general, plus 30% damage boost. Second good option going to be Fragment of the Empty. It's allowing you to choose up to 3 cards in your opening hand to mulligan them. The name cards drawn after discarding will have active inspiration. And last option going to be Rocket Adorned Cape. It's gonna give you an extra drop at the start of the fight and also one damage reduction stack. Right now we're gonna talk about trinkets. Best option going to be Dimensional Cube, the highest damage potential accessory available to Yuki, assuming you have a strong discard outlet like me on the team with a good deck. But keep in mind you need to consistently discard 2-3 cards in a turn to get full potential from this accessory. Second great option going to be Emblem of an Exceptional Entity. Has a plus 30% bonus for all of Yuki's abilities, making it the best option after Dimensional Cube and the top option if you value consistency. Third one going to be Amorphous Cube, slightly worse than Emblem, but far easier to get boosting damage by 25% instead of 30. And last option going to be Super Conductive Protein. It can be used to gain additional momentum for the player and their team on turn 1 by discarding one card in your opening hand to 0. So right now let's talk about Yuki's deck. First of all, you need to get as many cards with moral as possible cause it's gonna boost your overall damage output. First card about which you are going to be prepared to subdue. This moral boost is going to be a second card about which I want to talk going to be Flash Slash. And there I want to share two good options for it. First one going to give you morale, the second one gonna apply vulnerable debuff to enemy characters. And last card about which I want to talk going to be Tricky Strike. Tricky Strike with moral boost going to be a best option. Right now, I want to talk about team competition. As a main damage dealer, we're gonna bring Yuki. For the subslot, best option going to be Veronica. But if you don't have her, you can replace her with Ray or Cassian. For the last slot, best option going to be Nia. And there, I want to show team composition, which I'm gonna use right now. I'm gonna pick Yuki as a main damage dealer, Ray and Nia as a supporters. First of all, I want to talk about Ray's deck. I would suggest to get as many trap incantations on cards as possible. As for neutral cards, I would suggest to get Morale or AP, plus in my opinion, all basic cards should be removed. And this is going to be a good example of Nia's deck. First card about which one like going to be an ideal. After getting Epiphany, drawing and discarding two cards going to be a best option. Second card about which one like going to be a mood accent. I will suggest to remove this card because it's not going to be useful. Record also can be removed. Next card about which one like going to be Nia's Curiosity. If you can get after Epiphany AP or Morale is going to be a best option. Also I can say the same about neutral draft cards. And there, I want to share Yuki's team showcase. We're gonna have Ray and Nia who gonna drop Yuki's cards to activate her inspirations, and she gonna do insane amount of damage. So take with you popcorn and just enjoy how we gonna destroy this boss. So it's not over now. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe and put soda. If this video was helpful. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can do it via PayPal, link in the description. Also, if you have more better options, cards, themes, you can share it in the commentaries.